For my common theme, I chose to do a day at school. The first picture shows students in class. The first prompt says, "What subjects do you think they are studying?" This is under Remember for Bloom's taxonomy. Think about why it is important for children to go to school and learn. How does going to school help us in our everyday lives? This is Understand on Bloom's taxonomy. And the last prompt for this slide is create a story about the students in the picture. What adventures could they have together? This is Create under Bloom's taxonomy. The next picture shows students in art class. What do you think the kids are going to make? This is Analyze under Bloom's taxonomy. How would you feel while creating artwork with your friends? This is Evaluate. And describe what you see happening in the picture using a lot of descriptive words. Talk about colors, shapes, and actions. This is Create. The next slide shows children getting to school. How would you explain this scene to someone who has never been on a bus before? This is Understanding. What are some reasons they might feel excited, nervous, or happy about going on a bus? This is Analyzing. And how can riding a bus help students get to school or other places safely and efficiently? This is Evaluating. This is also the slide I chose to do for the literary devices. For informational text, I chose Description. In this informational text structure, the picture is described in detail, providing information about the appearance and behavior of the students as they prepare to board the bus. For procedural text, I chose Chronological. Initially, the students form a line outside the bus, then one by one they climb up the steps and enter the bus. Finally, they settle into their seats. In narrative text, I chose Setting. The picture captures a sunny morning scene at a school bus stop, with trees in the background and a colorful school bus parked nearby. The next picture is of students eating lunch. What do you think the students are talking about while they eat lunch? This is Remember. Do you know any rules or manners that we should follow when eating with others? This is Understanding. Why do you think it's important to have designated time for lunch at school? This is Evaluate. The next picture is of students playing at recess. Imagine you are one of the students in the picture. What would you do during recess? This is Apply. Why is recess important for students? Think about how playing outside and taking a break from class can help us learn better. This is Analyzing. And describe what you can see happening in the picture of students playing at recess using lots of descriptive words. Talk about the colors, actions, and emotions you observe. This is Evaluate. The next picture shows a student solving a math problem. Have you ever used this manipulative before? This is Remembering. What kind of math problem is the student trying to solve? This is Understanding. And why do you think it is important to learn math? This is Evaluate. The next slide is of students doing a science experiment during science class. Can you think of different ways the students could use the materials on the table to conduct experiments? This is Creating. Take a close look at the picture of the students doing science. Can you find any objects or tools that you have seen or used before? This is Remembering. And the last one is imagine you are one of the students in the picture and you are conducting a science experiment. What kind of experiment would you like to do? This is Understanding. Next up is students in gym class. What other activities could these students be doing in gym class instead of playing basketball? This is Applying. Describe the sounds you hear in this picture of students in gym class. This is Observing. Imagine you are one of the students in the picture. What story could you tell about your experience in gym class today? This is Creating. The next slide shows a picture of students in the library. Imagine yourself as one of the students in the picture. What book would you choose to read in the library? This is Creating. Why is it important to read books? How can reading help us learn new things? This is Understanding. Describe what you see happening in the picture of the students reading in the library. This is Analyzing. Next is students arriving at school. Can you think of different ways they might have traveled to school? This is Creating. Imagine you are one of the students in the picture. How would you feel on your first day of school? Analyzing. Why is it important for students to arrive at school on time? This is evaluating. Next is a picture of students leaving school and going home. Describe what you see happening in the picture using descriptive words. How do the students look? This is understanding. What do you think these students did during their school day? This is analyzing. What are some places students can go after school? This is remembering. Next is students in music class. What instruments are used? Have you used one before? This is remembering. What sounds do you hear in this picture? This is understanding. How do you think the students in the picture are feeling? Why do you think that? This is analyzing. Next is a picture of a girl feeling sad and talking about feelings at school. What do you think might have happened to make the student upset at school? This is applying. Can you think of a time when someone made you feel better when you were upset? How did they do that? This is analyzing. How can we make sure that everyone feels included and happy at school? This is evaluating. The last picture is of students using computers at school. What activities can you think of that students can do on computers at school? This is create. Can you think of any other places where people use computers besides school? This is remembering. Describe how students in the picture are feeling while they use the computers. This is analyzing. And finally, this is my references page. Thank you. The next slide is of students doing a